Hi everybody, this is Laura. I am starting to work on a princess themed cake that I have to deliver this next weekend, and I've started making my tiaras out of gum paste, so I decided to go ahead and make a tutorial to show you all how to do this. This is a very simple setup. I've got here a very small piece of foam core. You can just use, any block of cardboard or any thick surface that you can actually move. And what I've done is I've taken a coffee can. This coffee can is about 4 inches in diameter, and I actually wrapped some parchment paper around the coffee can, and then I've taken some just regular packaging tape and I've taped the coffee can all the way around down to the foam core so that I can move it around without, the can rolling around on me. And what you're going to need is some gum paste. You need some edible glue, which is made by mixing Tylose with water. Ain too has a good tutorial on how to make this stuff. Very, very easy. And so I've already started adding my first piece of gum paste to the bottom of the can. And if you notice here, the gum paste is longer than at least half the radius, I guess, of the circle. Because when you have the tiara totally dry, it needs to be kind of long around, because that way it can stand without tipping over. So I've already started by making just rolling out a worm of gum paste for the base of the tiara. What I've done here is I rolled out another piece of gum paste, and I actually thinned out the ends, and I curled the ends, and I've added just a little bit of edible glue where the two parts meet. And even though it's pretty loose and flimsy right now, the more pieces you add, the more stable the tiara will become when it's completely dry. So it might not seem like just this little piece here with glue will have much support for when the tiara is standing up. But like I said, once you start adding more pieces, it will I just rolled out this little piece of gum paste here, excuse the shadow, and again curled the ends. And I just added a little bit of edible glue here where these two pieces of gum paste meet. And this is pretty loose right now. The only thing holding it together is this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding more pieces of gum paste worms that are going to be touching both the base of the tiara as well as this part and this part, to make sure that everything is holding on to each other, and that'll start giving the tiara some stability. This tiara is going to be airbrushed silver sheen. It's going to be like a metallic color, and I'm going to add either some blue or purple gems to the tiara once it's completely dry and the airbrush paint is dry. And so I'm going to also start adding some little circular parts to the tiara, and I'm going to be making indentations in the center so that I can add these little purple gems to the tiara. Okay guys, so I went ahead and made a few more worms and I added this little worm here, which is now glued to this worm here and here and here. I added this long worm here, and it's now attached to this part here and to there, same on the other side. And then I also added this worm here and this one, and then I made this little round piece of gum paste here, and I just using a ball tool, I just made an indentation, and then using another tool I just made those little lines on the side, and I went ahead and added a smaller one. Alright guys, so I added a bunch of other little worms that I curled up using the end of my my paintbrush that I'm actually using to add edible glue. So I added this worm here and another one on the other side. I think since the last time I added this worm also, and then I also added this one, I think. It wasn't there last time. And then I went ahead and made some more little gum paste round thingamajigs, and I indented a hole in the center, which is where the gems are going to go. And it's already starting to dry. So it's Monday night, 11 o'clock at night, and I am not going to dare move this thing till about Thursday afternoon. I'm going to give it a good 2.5, 3 days to completely dry before I attempt to lift it. I've actually now stood the can up with the tiara on it, and so it does feel pretty dry. It's a little bit cold in my house right now, so the fondant feels cold, so I'm not sure if it's because it's still a little bit moist. And I know that it is starting to completely dry because I started lifting the can and the entire tiara did stay together, and it's pretty much standing up on its own. If you can see here, it's not even touching the can anymore. So what I'm going to do is, since this cake is not due until Saturday, and I plan to airbrush this thing tomorrow, I'm just going to leave it alone for another day, and I probably won't mess with it until maybe tomorrow afternoon. So by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a total of 3 days that this thing has been drying. So far so good. It looks pretty good. And I will videotape again once I completely release it from the can. Thursday afternoon, and the last thing I did yesterday was lift the can, and so now I'm going to actually take the tiara off of the can and just let it stand alone for about a half a day before I airbrush it tomorrow. So I've got tape at the bottom of the can, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it this way. Okay, so there's the tape. The can is always thicker at the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of lift it this way. And let's see how it goes. There it is. So tomorrow I will airbrush it. There it is. I mean, it's completely hardened. It might still be just a little tiny bit moist in the back. So the purpose of letting it sit like this, guys, for about a half a day or a day is that if in case the entire thing is not completely dry, you'll give it a little bit more time to dry. I have airbrushed my tiara with a silver sheen color by Americolor, and then I just added a little bit of pearl sheen on top of that, and it's completely dry. Totally, guys, it's done. So I added blue little gemstones and purple as well with royal icing. This was helpful, and you can see that it is very possible to make a gum paste tiara, and you can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want. Alright guys, hope you guys like it. Take care. Bye-bye.